Hey, it's Laura with TRUEWELL, and in today's video, we're talking all about resistant starches, their benefits, what foods have resistant starch already, how to increase resistant starches in your food, and then how to know how those resistant starches are truly affecting your blood sugar levels. So let's dive in. So in case you don't already know, resistant starches are a type of carbohydrate that can resist digestion in the small intestine and then reach the large intestine where they can feed the good bacteria in your gut. Now, both of these two things are really important, especially for those with insulin resistance. This is because resistant starches, since they're not digested in the small intestine, can help keep blood sugar from spiking. I've got a lot of videos in the work for blood sugar. If you'd like more information on that, check out my playlist on the TRUEWELL channel. Now, the second reason that starches are really important is because they help produce short-chain fatty acids in the large intestine by becoming food for the good gut bacteria through fermentation. They're really good at this because they're not absorbed in the small intestine and can actually reach the colon intact. Short-chain fatty acids play a crucial role in maintaining gut health and have been linked to various health benefits, such as reducing inflammation, promoting satiety, and improving insulin sensitivity. They do that by regulating blood sugar levels, and that helps reduce the risk of developing diabetes. So overall, these short-chain fatty acids that are a result of resistant starches are an important component of a healthy gut and healthy body. So first of all, I want to point out the foods that actually contain resistant starches already naturally. These are foods that you can already include in your diet that are really great for all of the benefits that we just listed. These examples include green bananas. Unripe bananas are a really great source of those resistant starches. Just remember that as the banana ripens, the starch is then converted into simple sugar. So you'll want to make sure that they're unripe and green. Number 2 would be beans and lentils. Foods like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, and navy beans are all really great sources of resistant starches. The third is oats. They are not only high in fiber, but they also contain resistant starches already. I've got a really great video on what makes overnight oats anti-inflammatory and how to do it, and you can check that out up here if you'd like to see that video. Number 4 is going to be whole grains. So whole grains like barley, rye, and quinoa contain really high amounts of resistant starches naturally as well. And then number 5 is going to be nuts and seeds. Some nuts and seeds like almonds and pumpkin seeds, again, already contain those resistant starches. So really quick before we move on, if you're all about increasing resistant starches in foods for your health and weight management, hit that like button to help others find this video, and make sure to subscribe to and explore the TRUEWELL channel for playlists on anti-inflammatory diet, recipes, meal prep, lifestyle, and more. Okay, and on to how to increase resistant starches. So one thing that we've learned in the last couple decades is that foods made with refined flours like pasta are really bad for blood sugar levels because they cause spikes. This is something even those without insulin resistance want to avoid for metabolic health, but truly needs to be avoided for those with insulin resistance conditions like prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and PCOS, among others. So a few years ago, some researchers from the University of Surrey were curious about what happens to pasta when you cook it and cool it in terms of resistant starches and how that affects blood sugar level. Now, what they found is that the starches actually increased when the pasta was cooked and then cooled, which helped blunt the blood sugar response. Then they went a step further and cooked it, cooled it, and then reheated it. And what they found is that this next step reduced blood sugar spikes by 50%. The study was then repeated and confirmed by a peer-reviewed study in 2019. This particular study cites also that there were other reviews that also showed the same results with rice. This is important not only because of the difference in the blood sugar response, but also because increasing the resistant starches decreases the numbers of calories absorbed. This matters for weight loss, gain, or maintenance. Just know that this is not permission to go crazy with pasta and rice if you're insulin resistant. You still need to manage the total amount of carbohydrates, but it does give a bit more options in terms of better carbohydrates. So just a little recap on this. The guidelines of this are to cook the food, cool it for at least 12 hours in the fridge, and then reheat it so it's hot, and then eat it while it's hot. So the best carbs to use this cooking and cooling and then reheating trick are pasta, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans and lentils, rice, oats, and then other whole grains. How do you know that it's actually helping your blood sugar levels? So one thing to note about anything with nutrition is that results from studies and trials give an average, meaning that things don't react the exact same way for every single person. So just know that you could have a different response in some way than even someone that you're related to. But that being said, the only way to know is just to test it. And you can do this by using a manual blood glucose monitor or a continuous glucose monitor, which I've also got a few videos on here on the TRUEWELL channel if you'd like to check those out. Now, the steps to do this are to check your blood sugar immediately before eating, then check at the 1 hour mark and the 2 hour mark after eating. And this is called the postprandial blood glucose level. Then what you're going to want to do is test it again against the food when you didn't cook and then cool it to truly see what the difference is between these two methods. Now, another tip is that when you're doing this, think of it as a science experiment. Make sure to use as few variables as possible and the same conditions. So that would mean using the exact same recipe, the same time of day, the same meal, the same order of macros, etc., to get as accurate a result as possible. If you're ready to start feeling amazing with an anti-inflammatory diet, check out my anti-inflammatory diet for beginners video and grab your seat in the free workshop. And let me know in the comments what other questions you have. Be true, be well, and I'll see you in the next video.